Barry Robson is not having a laugh. He was a very grouchy man come full time, as he did the very serious walk straight out to have a chat with the referee. As Aberdeen failed to hold on against Rangers and ended up with a point, which, given that they're ninth in the league, maybe the point's important to them. Who can tell? Rangers won, Aberdeen won at Pittodrie. Where do we want to start, Tony?
I just wanted to talk just quickly about. I'd start to get pissed off being an Aberdeen fan because he does this all the time. Robson, he is the most negative manager in the league. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's like this. I was saying this about before. It's always funny not getting the managers right at Hibs, Hearts, and Aberdeen. It's like during this period where they all were willing to spend money. They all had owners or money when they were actually willing to go and buy players, but they all didn't have the right guy at the time when this period finally came. And that's it, Rob. So it's just so like the first 15, 20 minutes, Aberdeen look really good. There is no reason to stop that just because you go 1-0 up, because it's not like they're not expansive at that period. They're just kind of going toe to toe, and they're allowing some sort of freedom to that period. Then they go 1-0 up, and they do it every time. And it's like, as I said, even in the semi-final against Hibs, they're playing. It's Hibs. Why do you have to play the single most negative way? It doesn't make any sense to me. There's plenty of good players here. They've got a manager who can get his. The thing about Robson, looks like he can get his instructions across, and he can get good performance out of them. And something we kind of expected. I said this at the start. I think we're going to see Aberdeen's best performances are going to be in Europe in games where they get to play this way, and it's not a problem. And then obviously against Rangers, they've had some good performances there, but he just totally just gave up on that other side of the game, and all in the second half. But if they moved out of the pitch and sort of played a bit, which they certainly were capable of, they could have went 2-0 up. You could win that game, but you don't have to wait till you don't have to try and hold on for an entire 70 minutes just because
you have a goal.
Aye.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I thought it was like Rangers looked, they were up against it, and that, like you say, that sort of 15-20 minute spell where they couldn't figure out quite what to do with Sokler or Miovski. And I mean, first and foremost, is everyone just going to pretend that Sokler and Miovski aren't fucking twins? Like, it's genuinely freaking me out watching them as well, because that sort of from a distance watching a footballer, nah, not for me. But they couldn't figure out quite what to do with them because Sokler and Miovski were working it so well in terms of one coming and one going and dropping deep and flicking on, and they just, Balogun and Goldson were just all at sea trying to figure out what to do. And you're not going to, Lundstrom doesn't have the pace to drop in and help them with that either, so you're going to have to try and cut down the pass by pushing onto it, which means you need to be brave if you're Rangers, but if you miss it, then you're leaving your centre halves exposed. Like, just keep doing that. Like, it's not like the players which you're going to knacker in doing that are Sokler and Miovski, which is fine because you've got Duke on the bench. So see if you tire at your two centre forwards, that's fine because you've got one that's actually faster on the bench anyway. So like, you tire them out and then you keep. It was something under Graeme Alexander.
It's not like you have to even really overcommit men to do what they were doing.
Not at all.
You don't have to play like attacking football. You can still play in that rigid shape with the style that they were doing, and it was working.
That's what I don't understand, because it's not like Aberdeen don't have just an 11 within that there as well, because obviously you get Devlin on one side, Duncan on the other, and then you can look at guys like McGarry to come off the bench there as well, or Hayes, or Paul Vara can come into the midfield if you need more energy later, or you can put Duke up top, like I said, because he's fucking faster and more energetic anyway. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. I'm with you. I totally agree with you. I just don't understand it. Like you're doing something that the Rangers team can't really cope with. Just keep fucking doing it. There's a thing in like American football which is essentially just run the damn ball. Like, we'll just keep running the ball until they can stop us, and see, once they can stop us, we'll change it. But see, until they stop us, don't fucking change it. Just keep doing it. Just do the thing that's working. It was working. You were knocking them around the place. As it went in for half time, Rangers looked fucking punch drunk at half time. Like, we don't know how to deal with this. We don't know how to cope with this. Looking at the Rangers bench and certainly the changes that were made there, like, it was an attempt for Rangers to change what they were doing. And I understand like Matondo gives you a slightly different option in there and stuff like that as well. But fundamentally, you weren't moving them around. You were just getting them to try and change the bodies that were doing it, and they can't change the backline because they don't have anyone else to go and change the backline. They don't have a different system to play in there. They don't have quicker centre halves.
I think they've earmarked Robson done well. There was earmarked that Balogun's lost the main attribute, which was his pace, which is the main thing that he was really good at. That was the main that got him out of so many jams.
Yeah,
as a player, and he said you could see that's kind of not there as you would expect. That had to happen sometime because it did last him years. Like even when he was 33, he was still really, really quick, but he lost it there because like Majowski and Sokka, neither of them looked quick, but they were able to get behind. And the goal from a Rangers point of view is a shambles. Really, I was like, because I was sitting there.
It's a great flick. The flick from Sokka is absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Like really, really good centre forward play.
What a finish! What a finish that is. And Majowski's shoved a lot of words down through it because his whole game's come on a lot, and the ability to score was still there. Still not convinced he's going to be good enough for like some of the teams that like Lazio. When he gets linked to them, I'm always like, are we sure? But who knows? In Italy, everyone that goes there works for. So who knows? But yeah, and Rangers they did create some chances in the second half. But again, I feel a bit of that was just Aberdeen, just because allowing them to have the ball that much, it's impossible for them not to. But even then, it's like some of the best moments are like that really weird shot that Lawrence had, which even when I look at it, doesn't look right. But it was very, technically, probably was very good. But even when I see it back, I'm like, I'm still not convinced that's good. But but he does it, and he's really unfortunate not to score. And just there's ongoing problem, like we were saying about some other teams, maybe Hibs, possibly Celtic as well, with some guys. It's like they don't seem to be able to get the best out of the new managers can't get the best out of the arguably who the best players were before, and he's having this issue with Todd Cantwell as we're going on just now.
Yeah, just not really. Like it's, I don't know whether he wants more. Like the thing that Beale seemed really intent on doing was just having Cantwell just as a completely free role, and that seemed to be getting the most out of him. I get the impression that Clement wants a slightly more direct control over the game in terms of what you're doing. So he needs the system needs to work. So that ultimately comes down to Cantwell in terms of whether he's willing to do that and put in the hard yards to get there. I don't
like Cantwell wide. I know that he's got like what, to use my own reference points for Hibs, it's like kind of like Joe Newell, is that he looks like a winger and he can roll the ball. So I think people think he's a winger. I think that happened to Cantwell at Norwich, but they came round to it is that he is a much better. It's like quite a rangy, driving midfield player like Newell. So if I don't think that'll work when playing out wide on the right. And Rangers, it's just they just batter on the door, but it's not particularly like easy on the eye whatsoever. And it's another team I've just an old firm. It's similar to Celtic. Bored. Yeah. I'm bored of watching a lot of these Rangers players. And I already get a bit fed up of the old firm just in general because I get forced to watch their games every single week. And I have to because obviously we do this. So I can't not watch the live game because obviously you need to watch as many games as you can. I have to watch that every time. And now Rangers have had the same fucking players for what feels like 10 years. And just like, move on, please.
Just steadily declining over the decade.
Yeah. Slowly but surely declining. These players, like Goldson's having... Goldson just looks much more vulnerable than he has done for a long time.
Yep.
This season, and that's including in the league. Because there was times when I just thought Goldson was just imperious. I didn't think anyone could do anything, and there was no issues there. But I just Lundstrom, Cifuentes. Do we need the two of them playing? I don't think you do. But I think this happens a lot, and Beale was guilty for it as well.
Even back to Gerrard as well. It's like the Rangers don't play two holding midfielders challenge. Impossible. Can't be done.
Still, that bit, I think you're right that Clement just strikes me as a guy you want. Just his look, the way he carries himself. That's a man who wants to have complete control of absolutely everything at the club. The penalty, Graeme, go on then. Take me. I know you had something to say about it.
So fundamentally, right, both this one and the one in the Motherwell game, my opinion is that neither of these should be penalties because neither of those players are going to get the football. whether they've been pulled or not, right? And I realise that's stupidity and that's not part of the loss of the game. And it's not a hill I'm willing to die on, but that's my feelings on it. However, the response to this has really baffled me, given that the same thing happened in 2 games, and in both games, these are both stonewall penalties. Like, I don't know if it's one of those things I'm kind of feeling like I'm being stupid here. And I'm looking at the one in the Celtic game with Butcher hauling back Johnson, and the one in the Rangers game with Goldson getting pulled back by Gartenman. Like, both of them, like, yeah, he's fucking hauled him back. It's VAR. If as a defender you do that and you get away with it, fucking fine, cool. I've got away with one there. You know what you're looking at there. You know that people will be looking at it. My biggest gripe with this is that, and it's similar to Craig Anderson's as well, in that if it's a clear and obvious, to me, where that falls into sort of the clear and obvious error bit, and I'm happy we told him wrong on this, that's fine. If he's not going to get the ball, is it a clear and obvious error? If he's not going to get the ball, why has it been referred to VAR in the first place? Because he's been pulled down while he's never going to get anywhere near the ball in any case. Maybe you're not allowed to make that judgment. Don't know. But, like, just fucking, like, Robson, like, Aberdeen as a whole over the past, like, month have just been causing it with people in order to try and get, like, it all feels very cynical to me in terms of getting their fans on side. Like, we're out here fighting for the fans, whatever else. Good. Maybe you are. Good. That's fine until you're getting fucking cuffed in games. But the situation like this, like Robson losing his head, being like, oh, it looks really bad. Like, your player pulled him back. Like, that is a penalty. Like, I don't know. As I say, I feel like I'm being stupid because I'm like, well, yeah, it's a penalty because he's pulled him back. Like, that's what the laws of the game are. You've seen it. I've seen it. In my opinion, shouldn't be. But again, I don't make up the fucking laws of the game. Because if they did, I'd do a fucking class job. Nonetheless, I'd get what I want out of it, and that's all that matters. So yeah, fine. Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on it, Tony?
Just, it's all a bit like, I get that that's what people will probably want from VAR. These are the kind of things you can take away, and you can allow the game. I get like I'm saying about the kind of cynical fouls. You could kill them in a moment, and then you're allowing for more goals. Because my thought process is what, I don't know if it's what I want, but I know that's what the general
more goals, more fun.
Yeah, more goals, more fun, and arguably if you stop pulling in the box, means that more attackers will get the run on defenders, just generally, because people will have to stop doing it. But at the same time, I know it's just you grab shirts.
Fundamentally as well, I have and I realise this immediately delves into
strikers do it as well, and strikers do it all the time, and they watch it, and then we're getting down to who started it, which was the one really recently. Was it maybe Celtic or Aberdeen when they were trying to work out, or maybe it was down south? I just can't remember.
There was one last year of I think it was it Motherwell or Ross County or something.
Oh no, sorry, it was the one. I thought to stop not using English reference, but it was one in the Chelsea Man City game when the two of them were at it, and Haaland got a penalty the other week, and like they were trying, and the whole judgment on us, when does it start, or who holds on for longer, and shit like that. I get really like, oh, for fuck's sake, man! This is what takes ages.
I also kind of have my doubts that these are the same decisions that will be made on a weekly basis up and down the country, and I feel that Rangers and Celtic are refereed to a different standard to everybody else is. But again, that's simply my conspiracy brain going off on one. But yeah, I actually take the
referees are under more pressure. They're under more pressure in those games. This isn't about cheating. It's just that you are under more pressure.
Yeah. It's an entirely human reaction to being under more pressure, and it's not like a fault. It's not a criticism of them. It's just the reality of it. Like they're refereed to a different standard to the rest of us. Which, when in 3 weeks' time, or a weekend when Motherwell play Dundee and a Motherwell player hauls back a Dundee jersey in the box, like, will it be given? Probably not.
Yeah, similarly, St Mirren got one against Hibs. That one pretty obvious when a beater like jammed back, and it was a really big load of the strip.
Aye,
but I don't know. But now what? Aberdeen have to go to Helsinki on Thursday, -17.
Yep.
Quite up for you coming back to Easter Road after that on a Sunday. That sounds pretty good to me. Absolutely. But when I saw that and I was looking, I was like, that's good.